Alright, so I forgot to film an intro for this video, so that is why. I am back another day with a whole different look of makeup, but the Sephora 10-hour wear, if you want to see pretty much how this went and what my thoughts are on it, just continue watching and let's get into it. Alright, so on the Sephora website it says it's the Sephora Collection 10-hour wear Perfection Foundation. There are a bunch of shades with a bunch of different skin tones on there. It retails for $20 for 0.84 ounces, so it is less than the usual 1 ounce per foundation. And so it has 257 reviews, and so in the details it says it's a foundation with buildable coverage that instantly conceals blemishes with an invisible, flawless finish. And it says conceals blemishes, pigmentation, scars, and dark spots with a natural, beautiful finish. It blends on your skin to create an invisible veil. Adapts to your skin, wrinkles and soften them. Says it's an oil-free, long-lasting formula for 10 hours of wear. Not tested on animals. Then there's some research results. So in the how to use section on how to apply, it says to apply a smoothing primer on the face and neck, small dabs of the foundation on the forehead, cheek, and chin, and then use their foundation brush to blend it out on the face. Apply evenly close to the eyes, around the nose and the mouth. Pat to avoid lines, and then it can also be applied with fingertips or a sponge. Okay, so on their website, the foundation brush that they're wanting me to use is like a flat one. I'll put it like up here. I don't use flat foundation brushes ever. I don't like how they blend out my makeup or anything, so I'm definitely not going to use that. What I am going to use though is the brush that I usually use, is the little like dupe for the Artiste brush, and then I do have a sponge for the other side. The primer I used is from Rimmel, and it's the matte, Stay Matte one. I've already applied it, and that's already done. So I'm just gonna open it up and start dabbing on my face. So the bottle does tell me it's like a nice glass bottle. It comes with a little pump, and I did get the shade 22. I'm just gonna shake it and see if the formula changes, because it's kind of breaking up in there. And I'm just going to dab it.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out.
Okay, so the sponge did take away from a lot of the coverage instead of using the brush. So I'm kind of going to do like a mixture. I'm going to do a second layer because it still didn't really cover up everything that I wanted. So I'm just going to go over some certain areas, and I am going to use kind of a mixture of a brush and a sponge, because on my cheeks it did really nicely with a brush, but over the blemishes it did better with a sponge. So I'm just going to kind of use a mixture and see if I can get it to look really nice.
'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets.
Alright, so I went ahead and did my concealer off screen, so that is done. But this is how the foundation is looking. I did put a little concealer over a couple of these pimples just because it didn't cover it up enough, and I'm not going to go around with red all day. And so, but besides that, it doesn't look completely matte, but it doesn't really say that it is matte anyway, so it's kind of like a satin, which is fine. But I'm going to end up setting my face. I'm going to end up setting half with the I'm going to end up setting half with Laura Mercier and the other half with the Coty Airspun. That way we get a comparison on which one is maybe work better with this foundation. I do like to use both, just so you have a high-end option and one from the drugstore.
I'm a little stronger now, a little stronger now.
Okay, so this half is the Laura Mercier and this half is the Coty Airspun. Obviously currently there's no differences at all, but we will see if it helps with the oils throughout the day, maybe having a different kind of powder. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and tell you guys after how it applied, using like my regular, just my butter bronzer and a blush, and tell you guys how it applied, if it was patchy or not. Okay, this is it with the rest of my makeup on, and everything went on really nicely. I always have trouble with this side with any foundation with my bronzer for some reason. Like this side always goes on really, really nice, and then this side's like, nah, I'm gonna be patchy. So I think that's with every foundation, so I'm not gonna like put it down on that part because it always happens. But everything else did blend out really nicely. My blush didn't get patchy at all, which sometimes it does with certain foundations that I wear. Like even my favorite one, the Revlon one, that's for combination oily skin, that works really well. It does have my blush a little patchy on it sometimes. It kind of just depends on the day. So it's currently 10 in the morning, basically 9:56. So I'm going to go to school and do my regular stuff, clean the house, that kind of yeah. And I will check in a little bit later, and we will see how the foundation's doing, if I look really oily, or if I still stay the matte that I am right now. So see you guys later. Alright, so it's currently 7:25 at night. It's pretty much been kind of like 10 hours, just now being able to check in, and the foundation is doing pretty good so far. It for 10 hours wear, this is where it pretty much says, like, that's pretty much all you're going to get out of the foundation is the 10 hours. It does look pretty nice. Like, it did rub off on a little bit on my nose and on my chin. It's a little bit patchy there, and then my forehead is a bit oily, but definitely not too bad. It's not breaking up anywhere else on my skin, just those couple areas. And so I would probably just put like a little bit extra concealer on my nose and my chin next time, and then it would be fine. And yeah, so far so good. It has lasted all day since 9 in the morning, so I'm thinking it's doing pretty good. I will stay up a little bit longer and check in with you guys later. Once it's past the 10-hour mark, that's when it goes down to like the 3.5, 3 stars out of 5, just because it did really bunch up really bad, and it just makes your whole skin just look awful. But that is definitely not, like, they didn't claim to go past 10 hours, so I'm not going to mark it down for that. So overall, for just the 10 hours of wear, I would give it a 4. I do like how it did last. I don't like how it applied. Not that it didn't blend out well, because it did blend out really well. It's just, it kind of looked like it was sitting on top of the skin, and it kind of looked like an oil, even though it says oil-free. It kind of looked like a satin, but it definitely was not matte. It doesn't claim to be matte, but it definitely looked more like there was an oil on the skin. But once you set it down with a powder, it goes away, so it is fine. I just don't like that initial look. So you do have to let the foundation just sit there for a second and do its thing, do your eye makeup or whatever, and just let it sit there and sink in and not go in with powder right away, or else it might just sit on top of the skin all day. Alright, that is it for this video. If you want to see more content from me, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.